What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. As you can see, we are down here at the quarry, just like I said. We're going to try to get some gravel for upgrading the base. I don't know how much point there is to it at this point, because starting a new season has kind of surged ahead in the polls a little bit. So this may be the last episode of this season, but if that is the case, that's fine. We'll still continue on. This profile will exist anyway, so if we want to come back to this and work at more base building, we certainly can. But need to try to get in here somewhat quietly, which is difficult to do with the car. But I want the car because we kind of need to be able to, get a decent amount of gravel. Now, I'm not sure where the gravel bags are. So, for the time being, we're just going to hop out and go in on foot here. I took some of your all's advice. You suggested I put an optic on this pistol so that I could see over the suppressor. That is very true. I definitely needed to do that. And so I've got the sentry on here. I went back to base and grabbed one of those. But I don't often put the optics on pistols because I don't like the look of them. They're often too large and bulky looking. But this one actually looks pretty good. It's fairly low profile compared to a lot of the other ones, at least on this particular pistol. That's not what I wanted. I want this one. But anywho, we still need to try to get in here quietly, if possible. And like I said, I'm not sure where the gravel bags are. I would guess there's some over in that shed there. But we also want toolboxes, which are way back yonder ways. God, there's a lot of puppets here. Can I get up onto any of these or anything? Yes, I can. That doesn't help me at all. Also, I'm quite warm. Can I put that in there? Would that help at all, maybe? Okay, I'm not seeing other things that look like they would have gravel bags. I'm presuming the the big piles here we can probably get just rocks from. Be nice if kabiff. Ha 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 ha. It'd be nice if we could use the big ass rocks like this. I don't know how the hell you transport them, but it'd be nice to be able to use something like these for construction. Also, you guys can probably hear it, although you probably don't pay attention to it. But you can probably hear my dog chewing on a chewy in the background there. So I do apologize if that bothers anybody. Most of you seem to not care at all, which is lovely. I don't need those. I don't need more locks. Also, I had asked you guys your opinion on the puppets being able to open doors and such. And kind of the consensus that we've come to is either just leave it as is, or potentially make it to where they cannot go through doors, but still could go through windows. And that to me would make the most sense. These are not piles of gravel. I can't even search these. Here we go, or piles of gravel. This is a pile of gravel. It's not bags. Here's the bags. Okay, so we need to be able to get the car over here. Or at the very least, get the car to, like, there. That would be easy enough. I could do that. Can we even get the car in here? Yeah, there's a gate there. Okay. Okay. One of you suggested making the puppets able to go through doors, but not windows. That way the puppets would still... They could still get in, but they would be slowed down by the doors. And I get that. I don't dislike that idea. It it definitely makes sense because the puppets would still be a threat because you would not be safe in these buildings, but you could at least try to, you know, slow them down a bit so that maybe you could put some distance between you and them. My thought on it, personally, and this is just my personal opinion, but several of you in the comments have kind of made the same statement, is that doors are fairly easily barricaded, but we don't have the option to barricade doors in SCUM. You know, a door like this, you could come in here and, you know, knock one of these filing cabinets over in front of the door, and boom, that door is going to be secured from puppets banging on it. I mean, the reality is, a door like this, a metal door with a metal frame like this, you could lock it, and puppets would not be able to get in. But we also don't have that option. So, to me, it makes the most sense if puppets can go through windows, because, you know, the windows are just kind of an open hole in the wall. Or puppets can just go through the walls. How about we just go with that? They can just go through the walls. But, anywho. It makes the most sense for me that puppets can go through windows because they're essentially just a hole. Whereas a door, they would have to try a lot harder to get through something like that. I wonder, can I mean, I can climb this. Let's go ahead and climb it. I want to see if I can get a better view of the place, because I don't remember the layout of this place very well, other than back in that corner is the little garages. But I don't remember if there's any other sheds like this for storing bagged gravel. So I want to kind of get a bird's eye view rather than wandering around here and potentially just getting stuck somewhere. So is there anything up here by any chance? That'd be nice. I highly doubt it, but would be nice. There's some more sheds over yonder ways. Let's see, not those. That right there, that's more sheds. There's some more sheds. Okay, okay. We have goals. Now, I don't know what, let's see, what direction. Okay. The quarry does continue further that way. I don't know what's down that, that way. But we'll get what we can from here. And then, yeah, we'll kind of figure things out from there. Like I said, this may be the last episode of this season. So, crap. Can I, yeah, kick the ladder. There you go. Good job. Why can I not interact with the ladder? Aha, there we go. Apparently I'm too tall to interact with the ladder. It's the complete opposite of real life, where I'm short and need a ladder for most things. I can't even reach the stuff in the top shelf of our cupboard here at home. I have to have my daughter come in and reach stuff for me because she's taller than I am. Friendos? No friendos. That's surprising. Like I say, I don't want to use the car as a weapon if we don't have to. Certain scenarios, yes, I will use the car. But for the most part, I don't want to do that. So if we can clear a path first and then bring the car in, that's what I would prefer to do. Oop, that's not what we want. Curious as to where the puppets went, because there were quite a few more of them when we first got in here. That's always concerning when you know that they're here and then they disappear. But hey, if they're going to let me get to stuff over here, I'm not going to complain about it. I'd like to see them add, like, trailers to SCUM, potentially. Or at least, like, the ability to haul, you know, like to tow vehicles or something like that. The whole reason that got me, or the reason I thought about that is pulling in here and having to do the U-turn and then back over into here. You know, I've had to do that a lot throughout my life with trailers and trucks and stuff like that, working on farms and all of that fun stuff. So it makes me wonder why we can't tow vehicles, especially when they made it to where vehicles can have, you know, can spawn with no engines. That kind of makes it a bit frustrating when you can't, you have to manually push the car all the way to the traders just so you can buy an engine from the trader. You know, like, you ought to be able to use another vehicle to tow that vehicle if you have access to another vehicle. Well, heck, I think we're gonna get... Jesus. Okay, well, we don't need to go any further in here, apparently. Because we're not gonna have room. Hey, hot diggity. Get in there, please. And then you two get in there. Okay, and that's that chest full. Okay, well, you know what we could do? We could maximize this. You guys were telling me about this. I need to take only the fullest ones. Yeah, so, like, stuff like this. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. And that one. Okay. And we'll see if we can't find some fuller ones. There's a good full one. There's a good full. Actually, all of those are pretty full. Let's see. What do we have? These have 25 uses total. Okay. Well, I'm thinking then maybe anything. Yeah, we'll see what we come up with. And those are both not great. Hey, there we go. There's some good ones. See, it's tips like that I really, really appreciate from you guys because I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I mean, I appreciate all of the tips that you guys give me. But ones like that it's like, okay, how can we maximize the usage of this? I don't pay attention to this most of the time. I'm just like, okay, bag, bag, bag. Turns out half of them are only halfway full. Which means we could get a lot more space if we use fuller ones. Or we could get a lot more materials, sorry, space. Materials if we use fuller ones. Need that. If we can find enough, I'm going to just take everything out that's below 20 uses. Yeah, we could try to find all full ones, but I think that's going to be a bit of an effort in futility because thus far we have, what, none of them that are full? Best we can do is 24 out of 25, it looks like. So yeah, trying to find anything that's, well, is that one 25 or is that one 23? That one might be 25. Yeah, I think it's 25 because it looks like each use is 1 kilogram. Okay. Beautiful. Hey, wait a minute now. You get out of there. We had another one over here that was. I thought. Maybe not. Fair enough. Fair enough. Both of those are crap. That one will do. No, I didn't want you to pick that one, especially not that one. That one doesn't have very many uses. Okay, how much room do we still have in here? Do we have enough room for another one, or is that it? Okay, we got room for one more. One more, except we don't have. Aha, perfect. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, well, that's it for the gravel. That actually went a lot quicker than I thought it would. Okay, well, we still need toolboxes. So, let's go see if we can't... No, not the shotgun. Let's go see if we can't find us some toolboxes. I really wish that there was a setting to where if you're in third person, you could just... Like, when you go to aim down sights, that it would automatically... Well, and I guess technically it does. Yeah, see, it does with guns, but you don't have it with the bows. You know, I wish that when you drew the bow, it would automatically put you back into first person. So I hear a goat. Where the hell are all the puppets? We saw a lot of puppets on the way in. I hear somebody. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know that we're going to bother searching the other buildings. I mean, we will, but not for gravel. You know, we can search stuff for toolboxes. No, that's not what I was trying to do. But, like, here, I mean, you... Oh. I kind of wish that the third-person aiming for the bow was better if they're not going to, you know, make it to where they automatically revert to first person when drawing the bow. Because aiming the bow in third person is useless. From what I can tell, the little bit of reticle that you have does not transfer. See, I'm not seeing hardly any puppets here, and this place is usually crawling with puppets. I mean, I watched a video by Ollie Dino. I've been watching a lot of her stuff lately. If you haven't checked out her channel, go check her out. Her playstyle is pretty similar to mine. She does a lot of PvE stuff like this. But she did some server testing on the puppet numbers, trying to maximize the puppet numbers. And she kind of got everything set about the way that I do for puppet numbers. But anyway, she did her test here, and There were tons of puppets all over the place. And normally there are tons of puppets for me all over the place here, but for whatever reason today there's nothing. That's not a door. This is a door. You can't walk through the wall. You're not a puppet. Yeah, we need more bolts and nails. We're fine on wire. I don't need more car repair kits. I need just straight up tool kits. There's an alternator for Volkswagen. I don't care. Really, are we not going to find any toolkits at all in here? There, really? None? Well, that's really, really unfortunate. Oh, good. Tire repair kit. That's exactly what I needed. More wire, too. Fantastic. You know, we'll take the electrical repair kit. Am I really not going to find a single toolbox? Am I really not going to find a single toolbox? Aha! Hey, I found a single toolbox. Okay, well, that was very, very disappointing. Aha! Hello, friendo. You know, I go back and forth on whether or not I like the recurve bow over the compound bow. And originally, I hated the recurve bows because you don't get an optic. You get the little tiny reticle, and it does not stick around for very long. I'm not sure why the reticle doesn't stick around. But all you have is that little tiny thing. What? No. Where are you? But anyway, I used to like the compound bow because you got a proper sight and it would zoom. You know, normally you guys see me a lot of times. I'll go ahead and zoom in to try and get a better shot on the puppets. But my problem with the compound bow is it auto zooms. Hey, you know what? I could use that. And so that it doesn't work real well if you need to rapid fire at close range. You know? Oh, damn, there was a lot of bags up here. Holy crap. Man, I should have come up here. Yeah, well, no, because we got as many as we could carry down there, so really doesn't matter, does it? I already have a shovel, and that one, you guys have said that I can't use that one to fill the sandbags, which is unfortunate. Also, you guys have said that I could just make the toolboxes, which is absolutely true. For whatever reason, I never remember that I can craft toolboxes. There's a lot of stuff that I don't remember that I can do, so anytime you guys remind me of stuff, I greatly appreciate it. I need one nail, one bolt, 1 plank and 1 piece of scrap, and then a smackerdoo. And I can make my own toolboxes. Now, they don't have nearly as many uses, but they still work. So maybe we do that if we continue this season. Even if we don't continue this season, I will try to remember to do that in the future. I don't need the gas can. I don't even really have room for the gas can. Really would like some toolbox. Well, that's an odd thing to find here. I'll take it. Just not sure why there's some random bullets in here, but hey. We'll take it. I think I still have some cherry seeds. And I'm going to continue with this episode on the assumption that we may still be doing more to this season. Like I say, right now, as of the recording of this, hey, I ain't got one of them yet. But as of the recording of this video, starting a new season with the mentally unstable guy, or the narrative season, is currently leading in the polls. So, yeah, I know you're hungry. You're fine. Hey, sir, can I have... Thank you. I would very much like to have my arrow back. Can you get on top of this car? Can you get on top of the car? Thank you. Well, okay, there's a few. They're just on top of the roof. Alright, well, that's fine, I suppose. I've kind of been disappointed by the lack of puppets here thus far. There's some boots. Ooh, lead plate. Ooh, yes, please, on the lead plate. Indeed. Hiking boots, work gloves, butt water. That's really not something that I'd want to drink. I wonder if they'll ever add anything for, like, use for these air compressors. You know, because right now, like, we have the tire repair kits, but they're not usable for much. But they used to be. Is that an empty bag? No, that's construction pants. I can make it into an empty bag. Ooh, grinding stone. Yes, please. But it would be interesting if you could find tires that needed to be reinflated. It would be complex to do it, I guess. But, you know, like, you find a... Ooh, hey, are you in better... You're in better condition than mine. But, like, if your tires go flat. Okay, yeah, you can fix it with the tire repair kit. But if you don't then air it up, then it will wear the tire out faster. If that makes any sense. Again, it's really not worth implementing something like that, and I didn't even think about that at all until I saw the air compressor there. It's like, hey, air compressor, I got one of those back here at home. Actually, I have 2 air compressors here at home, but it's like, I would like to see uses for more things in the game. Hey, an empty bag. Because, you know, right now there's a lot of stuff around the map that has no uses whatsoever. It's just there essentially for scenery. But that sure looks like something we ought to be able to pick up and take with us, doesn't it? Same thing with some of the generators. You know, you can find some generators around the map, but then others are just static, you know, environment pieces. I I, I kind of don't like that. I would like to see more. Is that no? I've already been through there. What? What? Uh-oh. Oh, good. You guys are still doing that. That's something else that really needs to be addressed. Developers, if you guys ever watch any of my videos, not that you ever will, but if you guys watch any of my videos, please, this has become more prominent, it seems, lately. Like, since the most recent hotfix, puppets have been getting stuck in the ground a lot more often, at least in my experience. Maybe you guys have been having that happen a lot for a long time. But to me, it seems like, since this hot fix, it's gotten considerably worse. And so that needs to be fixed. And, you know, the devs are talking about they're working hard towards the release of 1.0, which we're all excited for. Oh, there's several of you goobers here now. Why are you guys over here? I don't know, but I'm gonna not go that way. I really was tempted to start shooting at them, but I think that would probably be a mistake. And there's really no reason for me to go over there at this point. But, you know, the devs are talking about getting everything ready for 1.0, which is great. We all want 1.0. But they haven't addressed all of the issues with the game yet. They keep talking about all of the new stuff they're going to add with 1.0, which is great. You know, like the rework for the inventory and the rework for the graphics with all the different textures and the foliage and all of that. If you guys haven't seen videos of that, go check it out. It's gonna look really nice. You know, right now it still kind of looks sparse, like particularly the grass and whatnot. You know, you have a lot of just short grass and then bushes. They're gonna revamp a lot of that to where it looks much thicker and overgrown. It's gonna look really good from what they've shown so far. But none of that really matters if the game is still buggy as hell and broken. You know, if they release 1.0 and you still have puppets popping out of the ground all over the place, and, you know, I have low player count mode on, plus I've got puppet numbers essentially maxed out as much as we possibly can. And there's still not very many puppets in some areas. And a lot of people complain about that, and the devs still don't address it. So it's frustrating when stuff like that happens, because the devs keep talking about 1.0 being just around the corner, but they haven't fixed stuff. That stuff that's been a problem for a long time, they haven't addressed it. And I know that they say that, you know, they have to add everything in first and then work on fixing things, because stuff, every time you add something new, it affects everything else, which I understand. But if they don't fix that stuff, and they just add new stuff and then say, we'll fix the other stuff down the road after 1.0, I think that that's going to really hurt the game. Because if you release a game that's been in early access for, what, 6 or 7 years now, since 2018? and you release a game that's buggy and has a bunch of broken features and just people don't like the base game that gets released, it's going to be a lot harder to convince people to stick around for you to fix things later. You know, I would rather have fewer features in the game that gets released and have it be a solid game than to have a broken game with a whole bunch of features. You know, because the devs have already said they're going to add a bunch more stuff after 1.0. Well, great. So, clearly they're going to have to keep fixing broken stuff since they're going to keep adding more stuff. So, why not go ahead and fix the current version of things, like the puppet spawning system, the animal spawning system? Oh, we're bringing in a bunch of friendos. You know, fix all of that stuff before you keep adding more vehicles. And I don't know. It just the way the devs are going about things, it's making me leery about how successful 1.0 is going to be. Especially if they're holding the armed NPCs until 1.0. Because the armed NPCs are going to drastically change the way that the game is played. You know, right now it's just an empty open world filled with zombies, essentially. Except it's not even filled with zombies. But, I mean, when they introduced the Horde system, it was broken. It's still broken by most people's standards. And it's been a year since they implemented the Horde system. And then, like, when they implemented the drop ships, that nobody asked for the drop ships. Pretty much it was universally questioned why they added the drop ships when they added those. And they were so broken that even the devs turned them off on official servers. So, I have absolutely zero confidence in it being successful if the devs hold, like, the armed NPCs until 1.0. They're going to be buggy. That's just a foregone conclusion, in my opinion. Every single time there's been a major update for SCUM, whatever features they've added have been buggy as hell. And I think, oh, jeez, I think it would be really foolish for the devs to just hold all of that stuff for 1.0. Now, I'm sure there's people that disagree, and that's fine. You know, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's the correct one. This is just the way that I feel about the direction that SCUM is going. You know, I want SCUM to be as successful as possible. And for that to happen, it needs to be as unbroken as possible when they release 1.0. Because, you know, they've already talked about they're going to add a bunch more stuff after 1.0. So they don't need to keep adding more and more stuff right now. They need to fix what's broken right now, to where the game that drops is the best version of what that current build of the game can be. What? How? What? Are you too heavy? You can't, what? You can't, you're not too heavy. Maybe it's too, oh, it's too heavy for the overall rack. Fine, you can go in there. I don't know where to look here for toolkits. I honestly didn't really intend to come here, but we still had like 20 minutes left that I can work on the video, so I thought, why not? Oh, good lord, I don't know that I want to do this on foot. That's a lot of puppets. I mean, I was here looking for toolboxes. I don't know that. Good grief. Okay, I think all the puppets that were supposed to be down there also just came up here. Now, you guys remember last time we were here, every single one of those eventually filed up to here. So I want to hit this first and check all of these before all of those goobers get up here. Okay, this right here is another one of those doors that the puppet should not be able to open. Just pounding on that with your fist is absolutely not going to open that. And the fact that it's got razor wire on the top, these are tall fences, they're reinforced. This is a security gate. Yeah, you could crash through it with a vehicle, but just pounding on it with your fist should not open this gate. And yet puppets can still open that gate. So I'm really strongly considering just making it to where puppets cannot open doors. They'd still be able to get through windows, but not doors. That's what my preference would be, I think. Because to me, that's what makes the most sense. Hey, a toolkit! Yeah, this wasn't a wasted trip after all. But what do you guys think about the direction that SCUM is going? I know this doesn't really have anything to do with this video, but this is not really an exciting place to loot either, so it's just kind of, I'm looting this place while rambling to you guys and just talking about stuff. So if that's not your thing, I apologize. Feel free to click away from the video. But for those of you that are enjoying the video, if you could go ahead and hit that like button on the video, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it. It would help the channel grow, and it would let me know that you guys do enjoy the way that I do videos. You know, I want to keep making videos that you guys enjoy. And so hitting that like button lets me know that I'm doing something right. You just had some food. You'll be fine. You're not starving to death. Oh, I heard you over here. Look at how many of them are just over there. Why the hell are they all going that way? I don't know. This place is weird as far as the puppet spawns and behaviors and whatnot. But I still think that this, with low player count mode, the way that puppets pre-spawn in an area like this kind of puppet numbers, I don't like them being on the roof. But this kind of puppet numbers really, I think, is how SCUM should be. As opposed to how it normally is, where there's nothing here. And throughout this entire place, there would maybe be like 3 puppets, unless you triggered a horde. You know? So, I personally would really like to see the horde system go away. And from pretty much everything that I've read in the comments of every developer update since the horde system was implemented, pretty much everybody wishes that they would go back to the old spawning system. Now, I get why they implemented the horde system. It's to improve server performance. Because having puppets just pre-populated on the map takes a hit on the server's performance. Especially if you have high population servers where you've got, you know, players at every location to where the system has to spawn in puppets at a whole bunch of different places for a whole lot of players. I get that. But my thought on it, and I talked with one of you in the comments about this, I think a better way to go about it than the horde system is if they would write up a program, and I'm not a programmer, so I don't know how difficult this would be, but it seems like a fairly simple concept. But, you know, we have a specified maximum number of characters that can be on the map. We already have that. Well, what if they made some kind of algorithm that told those numbers to decrease puppet numbers as more players are added to the map? Because as more players are added to the map, you're going to be having more interactions with other players as opposed to puppets. So on high population servers, PvP is going to be the focus. To where you don't need as many puppets. You're going to be fighting off other players as opposed to fighting off the puppets. And then on low population servers, you'd have more puppets. Because they would be more PvE oriented. You know, because on low population servers, you're not running into other players anyway. And aside from official servers where you just have a whole bunch of, from what the sounds of it is, a whole bunch of cheaters and hackers and stuff like that. Aside from stuff like that, most servers are not heavily populated. You know, and the ones that are heavily populated for the PvP aspect. Ooh, a fishing reel. And so, if they're already focused on PvP, they don't need to have as many puppet assets spawn in. And so my thought was, what if you write a program that establishes or sets a value to each character, and players would have higher value than puppets. So you would have, like, for each player on the map, and this is just a very, very basic example. Obviously, it would need to be more complex than this, but for each additional player on the map, that removes 10 puppets from the map, so as to reduce the load on the server. Because one player can easily deal with 12 puppets, or, 10 puppets, whatever. And so that seems like a way that you could balance it better. So for each additional player on the map, that's 10 fewer puppets that can spawn throughout the entire map. That's not, oh, that one new player doesn't ever see any puppets. It's, for that one player, 10 fewer puppets can spawn throughout the map. And therefore, you have 10 fewer assets that are taking up RAM or whatever. Like I said, I'm not a computer guy, so anywho. But that would mean that low population servers have high puppet numbers, and high population servers would have low puppet numbers. Again, I don't know if that would work well or not. And I highly doubt that we're going to see anything like that because the devs seem dead set on sticking with the Horde system. And as I understand it, they completely got rid of the old spawning system and just don't want to go back to that. But so many people complained about the Horde system. I have yet to find one person that says that the Horde system is better than the previous system. And so I really wish that the devs would come up with something better than the Horde system that would still allow server performance to be decent, but that would make the map not feel so damn empty. You know, on single player especially. You know, that's what low player count mode is for. It's for single player. I mean, you can do it on low population servers. In theory, I did not see it in the server settings for the Wolfpack server. I checked because John and I had talked about turning it on. But I could not find it in the server settings. It's not in the same location. What? What? Oh, good. You guys are glitching through the ground again. Oh, crap. Ow. Whew. Ha. Uh-oh. Man, that that optic really does help with better headshots. How many bullets we got? Okay, half a mag. You know what? I really don't want to be caught with an empty magazine. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I have some bullets here. But, anyway. I think that there has to be a better way to do the puppet spawn system than what they currently have. And from the sounds of it, pretty much everybody else agrees, because the current system is just not good. Pretty much everybody agrees that it's broken. And, like, the hunting minigame is just garbage. You know, now you pretty well, you hear an animal, you start looking around, you have to do the little mini game, and you walk in circles for 20 minutes just to end up 10 feet from where you started so that the animal can spawn in, 20 feet away from you. That's pretty much the current hunting system. I would rather have the animals pre-populated in an area. And again, I'm not talking about you have to populate the entire map, but let's say within a 200-meter radius, it would spawn whatever animals could be in that location. And it wouldn't be spawn every animal that could be there, because, like, oh, you're in the forest. Okay, well, there can be 37 rabbits and, a pack of wolves and a bear. No, you would have it set up as, okay, you're in this area, there's, a 20% chance that a bear could spawn, a 20% chance that a wolf could spawn, or a, whatever, 60% chance that a rabbit could spawn. And the odds of something spawning it wouldn't be like there's always something there. But it would be a matter of, there's a, 30% chance of something spawned around you. And then from that 30% chance, you would then have the various percentages or the various likelihoods for the different types of things that could spawn. And so I don't know. Again, I'm not a programmer, but there has to be a better way than what they currently have. And it seems like most people agree. And sorry, there may be more places to loot here, but the reality is, we haven't found much in the way of toolboxes. We found 2 toolboxes at the entire quarry. I'm not going to bother searching the rest of it just looking for that when I can craft toolboxes at home. So, I think we're done here at the quarry. And I think we may just go ahead and end the episode here, just because there's not really a lot of point in trying to go somewhere else or doing anything else. So this is going to be a slightly shorter episode than usual, really not by much. I mean, we're just under an hour. But, anyway, sorry for the long ramble that was probably boring to a lot of people. But, like I said, this is not a super exciting location. So, I just kind of wanted to talk about stuff. But, anywho, like I said, right now in the polls, the new season has taken the lead, but not by a tremendous amount, just by a couple of votes. So it's entirely possible that we could be continuing with this season. But that decision will likely be made over the weekend. And then if we start a new season, it will likely start on Monday of next week. Also, I have now rented a DayZ server. It's a very small server. It's only 10 player slots. It's not really intended for other people to play on at the moment. It's just kind of a test server for me to get in, play around with DayZ as single player, or I've given John access to the server as well. So we may get up to some shenanigans over there. Let me know if any of that is something you guys would like to see. I know there's been a few people over the seasons that have requested DayZ, and I know they're probably wanting more PvP action, but right now I'm going to focus on more PvE stuff. So it would be similar to what we do here in SCUM, but over there on DayZ. I don't know if I'll record any of it. I don't know if we'll stream any of it, but let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, and if it is, then maybe we can give that a shot for a little while. But I can't. I don't really have anything else to say, I guess. You guys are probably like, thank God. But anywho, let me know what you guys think on DayZ. Let me know what you guys think on the puppet settings for doors and windows, that kind of thing. And we shall go from there for the future. Also, let me know what your guys' opinions are for the direction that SCUM is going. Let me know if there's anything you guys would like to see either added to SCUM or changed in SCUM. I don't really have a voice in the community as far as, nobody listens to me like they would to Ray Kit or Luthias or Mr. Feudal, anything like that. But I can still go pester the devs on your behalf. And maybe eventually they'll listen. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to stop rambling now. Most of you probably clicked off the video, but for those of you that haven't, again, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you would like to see more content. This is what it's going to be. A lot of it's going to be just me rambling about stuff. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and plug the links in the description. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So if you would like to support either of those charities, go check out those links. Then we have my Discord server where you can talk to me more directly than in the comments section, although I love talking to you guys in the comments. And then we have the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server where I do the live streams with John. And then we have my wife's channel, where she does rain videos, relaxation videos, paranormal videos, which some of those are informational videos, and some are evidence that we have captured. And she also does gaming videos, and that's where we do our family live streams, where we do multiplayer games like Demonologist and Phasmophobia. We're looking at doing a new one over there called Storm Chasers. One of you suggested during her last live stream that we try a game called Outbreak, which is another Storm Chaser game. And I looked into it. It looks really good, but it's also not cheap. It's like $35. And so for the four of us to have that would be well over $100. And according to the current reviews, it's not in the most stable condition. There's a lot of issues with optimization because of the amount of detail that they put into stuff. It's kind of like SCUM, where, you have a lot of foliage, you've got all of this, there's so much to the environment that it causes a lot of lag and crashes and stuff like that. So the point is, it wasn't really worth it at the moment to invest in that kind of game for you know, until we know if people really enjoy it or if we enjoy it. So I got a similar game called Storm Chasers. Um, it's got a few, it's not quite as in depth as Outbreak, but it still looks pretty good from what I've seen. Um, and so we may try that here in the near future. So if that's anything you're interested in, or any of that stuff that I mentioned is anything you're interested in, go check out my wife's channel. The link should be updated now. Apparently, the link that I had down there before was not working. So I went back over and grabbed the link again, and when I tested it, it was working with the new link. So hopefully it works now. Um, if you guys have any issues with any of the links in the description, please let me know. And other than that, I'm going to quit talking your ear off. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.